How would you like to make 10 times what you're currently making? How would you like to start making more money in one day than you can working all week long for someone else? And how would you like to start making this kind of money next week? If you want to start making money, you don't want to miss a second of this show.
Achievers are well-traveled, flying often on their way to business and pleasure. They're a group that is brand-conscious, buying the winners, the perceived best. These are the people living the traditional American dream. Now, that dream may be changing. At the forefront of this change are three new VALS groups we call inner-directed. These are people for whom personal satisfaction is more important than status or money. They tend to be self-expressive, complex, and individualistic. Rob is an I am me. I am me's are searching for new values, breaking away from traditions and inventing their own standards. Rob even invented his own name, Rob Noxious.
My parents grew up with the American ideology of happiness, and they've been patterned and pathed into what they think life is supposed to be like. And they've tried to pass that on to me, and I've never really been content with what I'm told is supposed to, be what I want.
These are the commandos in the search for inner growth.
I got to work on me before I can do anything else, because if I don't have me, then I've lost it all. No matter what I have around me falls out from under me.
This group's search for new answers makes them early buyers of new trends. Many are college students. This is the group who brought back 50s clothes and ushered in 80s stereo. They buy the trend-setting sights and sounds of America.
Seminars, but now the secrets of success can be yours through these audio cassettes and workbook for just $19.95, or on VHS or beta video programs.
Imagine a world where every word ever written, every picture ever painted, and every film ever shot could be viewed instantly in your home via an information superhighway.
A road that will not connect 2 points. It will connect all points. Its speed limit will be the speed of light. It will not go from here to there. There will be no more there. There will be no more there. We will all only be
folding into the internet. And what the internet amounts to is it's the first of two-way communication medium that is intelligent. It allows consumers to choose what they want to see, when they want to see it, and whether that be radio, whether that be print, whether that be television, broadcast. I think it's going to revolutionize all traditional media.
The site's called youtube.com, and that's Y-O-U, and it's just a place where you go. It's kind of like Flickr for videos, if you think of it like that, because you're actually able to tag your videos. And what we mean is, assign keywords to your videos.
That's all the rage with Flickr.
Yes, it is.
Why is tagging so popular?
I think it's an easy way for you to categorize the content, as well as an easy way for other people who are interested in that type of content to search for that content. So if you assign tags, if you do, your show Twit, if you say it's a technology is one of the tags, it's basically just keywords. Right. So then people who search technology, obviously, Twit is something that will come up. So we're going to take a look at YouTube, and I absolutely love this site, because I know there's lots of sites out there that allow you to upload videos, but this one is the most user-friendly, and there's a nice community there. So here we go. This is the homepage of youtube.com. You can see
it looks like Flickr.
It does look like Flickr. I know they've copied it a little bit, like recently viewed videos, and then you have all the tags along the right-hand side here. Yeah. What we'll do is we'll go in. I have actually my favorite videos listed here, and just to show you what the video actually looks like when we play it, we'll just click on this. This is Hack 5 or Hack 0.5.
They have a built-in player?
Yes, they have a built-in player, so we'll click on this, and then so it actually plays right.
He graphed them by click-through rate and average view duration. It showed that the higher both numbers are combined, exponentially more the views are, and that's when I was like, oh. So if I just get high click-through rate and people, if I get
this sounds easy.
Yeah, well, but then it's like, okay, so just the higher these two metrics are, the more views you get, and then it's just about obsessing how to get the numbers up. Really, you think about it, what does YouTube want? They want people to click and watch a video, click and watch a video, which sounds obvious, but to a lot of people, they haven't figured it out because they think it's either clickbait or average view duration. I don't think many people. And it seems so obvious, but I don't think many people realize that it's both. And the higher both are, the exponentially more the views. Everything I did from the beginning, I always tried to be different. So once I just found out about click-through rate, it was just, you know, making the thumbnails a little more brighter and, you know, obviously just learning things here and there and then just adjusting as we went. To that, it's just, will people click on it? Can I make an entertaining 15-minute video that people will watch like over 60% of? That.
Sit down. Okay, I'm going to tell you something that I've only shared with like 3 people. This is a little secret that I've been doing on our videos that help us get thousands upon thousands more views. It is hands down the simplest way to dramatically increase your views on YouTube. Every time we do it on our videos, the video views skyrocket. It might seem a little bit unusual, but I promise you, it is insanely effective. I call it reverse content creation.
Reverse content creation, also known as data-driven or algorithm-driven content creation, is a process where content is generated based on data analysis, audience metrics, and trending topics, rather than genuine creative inspiration. The increasing reliance on algorithm-driven content creation, fueled by the pursuit of engagement metrics and trends, by prioritizing data over human inspiration, we may be sacrificing originality, authenticity, and the ability to challenge and expand our audience's perspectives. While data can inform, it should not dictate the creative process, as the most meaningful and impactful works often spring from the depths of human experience, emotion, and imagination.
To optimize for the YouTube algorithm, consider these advanced strategies. Content cadence. Optimization. Maintain a strategic upload frequency to foster audience habituation and algorithmic favorability. Title SEO. Maximization. Leverage keyword research tools for SEO-optimized titles to enhance SERP, Search Engine Results Page, visibility, and CTR, click-through rate. Thumbnail CTR enhancement. Design high CTR thumbnails, utilizing visual psychology principles to boost visibility in algorithmic feeds and suggested video placements. Metadata, keyword. Integration. Embed targeted keywords within video descriptions and tags to augment VSEO, video search engine optimization, and discoverability. Audience interaction activity. Employ CTA. Call to activate. Prompts to elevate engagement metrics such as likes, comments, and subscribes, which are a vital tool for algorithmic tracking. Content quality and relevance. Focus on high-value content production that aligns with audience intent and preferences to improve VTR, view-through rate, and session duration. Extended playtime strategy. Craft longer-form content to increase AVD, average view duration, a critical metric influencing algorithmic recommendation. End screen and card utilization. Strategically deploy end screens and interactive cards to promote content recirculation within your channel, enhancing session time. Playlist optimization. Curate thematic or sequential playlists to facilitate content bingeability, thereby boosting channel-wide WTS, watch time sessions. Shorts algorithm. Leverage. Engage with YouTube Shorts feature to tap into the short-form content algorithm, potentially gaining rapid visibility and engagement. Data-driven content. Iteration. Regularly analyze performance metrics through YouTube analytics to refine content strategy based on empirical insights. Cross-channel collaboration, synergy. Initiate collaborations to tap into cross-audience visibility, leveraging network effects for subscriber growth. Adapting to these advanced strategies involves a deep understanding of YouTube's algorithmic preferences for engagement, quality, and user retention, thereby maximizing your channel's growth potential.
Wish that I'd sail the darkened seas on a great big clipper ship, going from this land here to that, on a sailor's suit and cap. Away from the big city, where a man cannot be free of all of the evils of this town, and of himself and looks around. Oh, and I guess that I just don't know. Oh, and I guess that I just don't know.
Why do you think YouTube is negative, has a negative effect on creators? And what are some of the things you've noticed? And let's include some positivity in there too. What do you think the benefits are?
I think the biggest thing when I look at the benefits is, we talked about this before on our podcast, people who are making YouTube videos, especially from a place where I am, which is I want to make work. I want it to be what I do for a living. I don't need permission to work. I can make a video, publish it, connect with an audience, and there isn't some gatekeeper in between preventing me from doing that. And that to me is part of the positive side of YouTube for me. When I think about the negatives, you definitely have questions of gamification and all the analytics and stats and the 1 out of 10 versus a 10 out of 10 and those things that have a significant psychological impact on you, especially when your pursuit of content creation is connected to a dream you have of achieving a better life, especially a dream life where I wake up every day and I make videos and I make money, and in that dream maybe a lot of money, I get a lot of stuff, people know me, my work has an impact, even if it's just to entertain people. And I think what ends up happening is you can very quickly see what results you get based on what you make. So I'll give you an example. On my photography channel, I usually select one of the still images that I've made as a thumbnail for the video. And there was, on a recent video that was where I was shooting film, and those videos don't do very well on my channel. Most of the videos that do well are digital camera videos, not 35mm film camera videos. And I put a photo up that I had taken at Venice Beach, California, of a young woman skateboarding. And that video just took off from its release. And I'm sitting there going, why? Why is this video ripping right now? It's 35mm stills, which just don't do well at all. Like, for example, my latest video which is a Chicago street photography video that I shot, Portrait 400, all that. It has like 110 views. Whereas my Digicam videos usually get anywhere from 800 to maybe, north of 1,000 in the first few weeks of its release. So I'm just sitting there going, why is this video doing so well? The substance of the video isn't really any different. And the only thing I could think of was the image of this woman, a young, attractive, blonde-haired woman on a skateboard, made people click so that they could see more of her. And so what that does is it could make me go, well, I want those results. So whenever I go out and make shoot photography, I'm going to try to find a young woman that I can photograph to include on the thumbnail so that I get meteoric, launch of the video and add subscribers and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's the crossroads that every content creator reaches. Are they serving growth, attention, views, subscribers, all of these surface metrics of success? Or are they doing something deeper that's connected to mission and what they're trying to say, their work? And you kind of go both ways. Am I willing to have fewer subscribers or videos with fewer views because I believe long term in what I'm doing? And I think that's really the central battle that someone who creates content on a platform that has no restrictions. There's no gatekeepers. There's nothing that's required to post. Obviously, monetization. There's some things that you have to achieve to get to that level. But if you want to make a video about what happens if a train drives into a hole, you can do that. And even if it's not something that ultimately aligns with what your vision is of the work that you do in the world, you probably, if the video is well made, will find some success in making a video like that, an extreme concept video.
I would describe myself as a happy, energetic person that enjoys adventure, to be able to do something different instead of staying in the same humdrum lifestyle. I like a little adventure, a little excitement.
Jody is an experiential. This is a group seeking inner growth through direct experience. Experientials aren't in one place much. This is the try-anything-once crowd, and all that activity takes goods and services. Their hobbies are hands-on, and their possessions are simple, but not always simply priced. Their diets are health-oriented. Much of their activity stems from a search for inner satisfaction, and many of the experientials apparently find it. Almost all of them say,
I'm happy.
YouTube, as most of us understand it, YouTube as a Mr. Beast video, YouTube as a video that is evocative of a National Enquirer magazine. While I think that for some people who need to relieve anxiety or escape or, just, I don't know, be entertained, I don't think anybody's necessarily wrong for watching those videos, but I would challenge people to not look to YouTube in the way that we think of YouTube, but to try to find and mine YouTube for the work that's there that challenges our perceptions, that shows us new things, that brings us new voices, that expands our thinking. And just shows us a window into someone's point of view on how the world works, what's going on beneath the surface of things, and to look for content that is more aligned with that. And I think that's what your video will be. It'll be a video, you know, that is different than what we come to expect from YouTube when the vast majority of us think about what a YouTube video is, which right now I think for a lot of us, the default thinking is a sensational video that got 180 million views, generated X amount of revenue, and helped someone build an empire or a business that then instilled in others that they too can achieve the dream of building their own empire, becoming famous, becoming rich, and all their problems will go away once they achieve that.
Good answer. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a bookseller. I sell books. I'm a businessman. That doesn't necessarily mean that I believe in capitalism. It just happens to be what I'm doing now. And I'm doing it because I love books. I consider it not just a business, but a vocation.
Andy is one of more than 13 million Americans we call societally conscious. This is a group that mixes financial success with a desire to change the world. People like Tom.
I earn a pretty good living, so I don't feel like I'm sacrificing a whole lot, but I think there are other values in addition to making a good income which are important. And one of those is trying to do something that's socially useful and maybe makes the world a little better place.
Andy recently bought a new home that shows us a lot about how societally conscious values shape consumption. They value aesthetics. They often look for classic simplicity, but with an interest in complicated electricity. They indulge in travels for the mind and travel to broaden the mind. The societally conscious are a growing group with a growing influence.
If you were starting over and you knew everything you knew today, but you had, let's take financial obligation off the table, let's take, you know, let's just create a really unrealistic scenario, but something where you can kind of answer in an authentic way, would you recommend that somebody, if they wanted to achieve success as a photographer or success as, you know, something in the artistic field, would you recommend that they get involved with YouTube, or would you recommend they go straight to a more of a long-term solution like a podcast, or, you know, driving people to a website? Like, what would you recommend if you could do it all over? Take your time and think about that too, yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I would recommend is, if you're looking at considering YouTube as a way to exhibit your work, ideally you're aware of the two paths that you could take. A path to serve the base desires of a large audience, which is typically stimulated by high drama, extreme concept, sensationalist type things, or the path that I would prefer for artists, which is making art on YouTube and aligning yourself with your values, your mission, and your convictions to say, I'm not going to let the performance of a video or the reaction to a video in terms of views, subscribers, etc., sway me from that focus, that conviction. I'm here to make work, and that is in my hierarchy of intentions, that is my top intention. That is of paramount importance. Now, if I can earn revenue from doing that, like you might if you had a photo showing and you sold prints, or if you built a website, or you started doing assignment work, that's great. I think you just have to have those things clearly defined so that you're not, in a sense, corrupted by the low-hanging fruit or the seductive nature of fame or fortune, clicks, views, fireworks when you get a 1 out of 10 in, YouTube Studio, that kind of thing. And that you're never making content to serve those more shallow outcomes. You're creating that content to stand back and be proud of what you made and how it expresses your unique perspective, your unique point of view, how it's a demonstration of what your voice is as an artist. That would be my recommendation, because I think if you can really anchor yourself to those convictions, I feel like you can withstand those temptations to become impatient and just sort of do what a large audience wants, which might be thumbnails with an attractive woman, or driving a train into a hole in the ground, or jumping out of an airplane, or, like you referenced earlier, putting a woman spreading her rear end, to get that kind of primitive reaction from people surfing through YouTube.
At the top of the vowels typology is a group we're still learning about, the integrateds. These are the few individuals who combine the power of outer direction with the sensitivity of inner direction.
I try to balance work, time with my wife, time with my children, which I really see as two separate entities, time for myself to learn, time for my spiritual worship, and time to just lay back and think.
We really kind of look forward to a day when we really aren't involved in day-to-day business at all, except insofar as we're creating things. Patricia painting, me writing.
These are people seeking a balance between making a living and a life.
I'd like to erase some more of my ignorance. I'd like to continue to stay at peace with myself as a person. And I guess very important to me is, for as long as I'm alive, I want to feel that my work and what I involve myself in has value.
I heard a quote yesterday that goes, following the herd invites regression to the mean. What's your immediate reaction to that quote?
Say it one more time.
Following the herd invites regression to the mean.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought is, without really scrutinizing it, is that sounds right. There's something in the word following, and I don't want to necessarily paint following as all bad, but I think when you use the word following in the sense, especially of YouTube, where you are looking at the ingredients that went into creating the video, baking the cake, for lack of a better analogy, hoping to replicate the outcome that person got with their recipe, that following is a reduction. And I think when it comes to real work on YouTube in any medium, understanding your voice, your intentions, what you have to say, you have to be a leader with that, and really confident that your perspective is unique, that your work is different than everybody else's, even if it's evocative of another style or another photographer, another artist, that you are really focused on, I see my way through this and I'm going to do it. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to stay, strong with my convictions and pursue things from that point of view.
What we have seen is the incredible diversity of American life. We have seen variety in views, in style, in hopes, in ideas. We have seen the drive to change and the drive to cling to the past. And we have seen that this portrait of America can be organized into 9 different lifestyles. We've met survivors, sustainers, belongers, emulators, and achievers. I am me's, experientials, societally conscious, and integrateds. But today is not eternity. Just because these people hold certain views today doesn't mean they always will. VALS is a dynamic system. On one hand, it is a system that helps us understand the enormous changes in American values and lifestyles during the last 20 years. At the same time, it is a program that helps us foresee the America of tomorrow.
The future is always experienced as a haunting, as a virtuality that already impinges on the present, conditioning expectations and motivating cultural production. Is less the failure of a future to transpire, the future as actuality, than the disappearance of this effective virtuality. It is this which gives the melancholy of hauntology its peculiar character, its sense of a loss of a loss. We hear that which is no longer, but which remains effective as a virtuality. The futures that have been lost are still effective in the present. Hauntology itself is a product of a time in which the only kind of cultural production that seemed possible was the recycling and repackaging of the already familiar. The artists that came to be labeled as hauntological were generally engaged in a kind of cultic recuperation of lost popular modernities. The effect was often a kind of sedative lassitude, a nostalgia for a time when the future seemed open, but which, in retrospect, was already closing in on itself. In the last 10 to 15 years, meanwhile, there has been an increasing sense that culture has lost the ability to grasp and articulate the present. Or it could be that in one very important sense, there is no present to grasp and articulate anymore. The slow cancellation of the future has been accompanied by a deflation of expectations. There can be few who believe that in, say, 2025, we will inhabit the kind of world envisioned in 2001 or Back to the Future 2. This is not to say nothing can ever happen again, but it seems fairly clear that the anticipative consciousness which yielded both these visions has evaporated.